friends, it's T-Man, and I'm going to do one more education video, bro. So I posted this in the community section, and I've got something else there I'm going to talk about as well. So again, AI overview, whatever, you know, they usually just take this out of scientific reports, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to read it, and then we'll discuss this, because I got another thing to talk about through NCBI, not just AI. When muscles adapt to eccentric exercise, muscle hypertrophy may plateau because the initial significant muscle damage caused by the eccentric contractions, which triggers muscle growth, that's what triggers muscle growth, gradually diminishes as the muscle becomes more resistant to the stress, leading to a reduced need for repair and therefore less muscle growth. Essentially, the muscle has adapted to the eccentric load and no longer experiences the same level of micro trauma needed to stimulate hypertrophy. Key points to consider: muscle damage and repair. Eccentric exercise is known to cause more muscle damage than concentric. Well, I don't know, man. The way they word this, it'll cause more damage. Concentric doesn't cause any damage at all because it doesn't lengthen. It only damages in a lengthened position. You can't damage a muscle squeezing it, okay? Well, it's crazy, man, but whatever. Concentric exercise. Due to the stretching of the muscle fibers under load. That's why you get damage, because of the stretching under load, not squeezing it at the top, the ass cheeks, which triggers the repair process leading to muscle growth. Yeah. However, that's why people are not building. And look, this whole newbie gain thing, newbie gains, genetic limit, my hard gainer. That's why you're all screaming about that. You want to know why? Because it's the eccentric that causes muscle growth. You got it in the beginning. We call it myonuclei overload. Eccentric overload. Resistance training low. Get it? Yeah, man. Not compression. You understand me? It's not based on compression. You understand? It's based on resistance, mechanical tension. Mechanical tension and compression. Which one is compression and which one is mechanical tension? Well, mechanical tension means eccentric exercise. That's where mechanical tension happens, in eccentric. It causes it to damage, okay? The more mechanical tension, then you could the possibility of causing these damages, okay? But compression, no, there's no damage when you're compressing a muscle. I'm sorry, but whatever. You get the point. So, repair leading to muscle growth. However, as the muscle adapts, the damage becomes less pronounced. How does it adapt where the damage becomes less pronounced? What causes this adaptation? The increase in sarcomere number in muscle fibers. In other words, when you build muscle, it adapts that way. So it's less. Your exercise is now, I don't know, it becomes less, it's resistant from further assaults by your shitty exercises. You understand me? So you have to, it's based on intensity and duration now in the gym. To damage muscles, they're resilient. So what do you got to do to damage them? To get muscles to grow bigger and stronger. Intensity and duration. And it can only happen once a week. It can't happen every day, or you'd get rhabdo and die in a stupor. Neural adaptations. Initial strength gains from eccentric exercise can also be attributed to the neural adaptations, where the nervous system learns to better recruit muscle fibers. But once these adaptations occur, further strength gains may primarily rely on structural changes. Yeah, they rely on structural changes called muscle hypertrophy, which might slow down. No, not necessarily. I mean, like I said, you figure with experience you figure it out. First you start with eccentric concentric lifts, right? And you add intensity and duration to those lifts. So it's kind of like you're doing your upper body in one shot, but every single muscle group, you're working every single muscle group, every exercise that you can muster, every exercise that you can think of, you work it. In other words, your lats, you're not just doing behind the neck, you're doing behind, front, close grip. When you do your shoulders, you're doing behind, front, you're doing side laterals, front laterals, rear laterals. You're doing all kinds of stuff, bro. 5 times 10. Your back rows, all kinds of rows. Landmines, wide grip, front, reverse grip, fucking one arm rows, lats. Your fucking your traps, a whole bunch of stuff. Your chest, upper, middle, lower, flies, all kinds of stuff, bro. There's a lot of working going on there. Intensity and duration, okay? Whatever. So further strength gains may, okay, whatever. Go on to the last part, training stimulus progression. To continue stimulating muscle growth with eccentric training, it is crucial to progressively overload, and that's what happens. So at some point, I had plateaued back in the 90s. I plateaued. I think I was around 255. I just couldn't push it past 255 doing intensity and duration, upper body one day, legs the next day, repairing and remodeling the rest of the week, going down to the buffet, just fucking pigging out, trying to grow my muscles bigger. They just wouldn't damage or grow anymore. And so what I did was I started to do what we would call eccentric overload. I progressively overloaded the muscle now. That's what I did. I focused more on the eccentric overload than the concentric. So in other words, I did the exact same exercises like you were all doing in the gym. The only difference between me and you guys in the gym is that you guys do bro splits, you split it up, and even if you were doing an upper body workout, you're just not doing enough. This whole like 1 or 2 sets for a couple of reps for each muscle group and then you fuck off is not enough to cause the damage. The damage has to be intensity and duration. That's why people say, well, you're working out for 3, almost 4 hours here. Yeah, because intensity and duration. There's so many sets and so many reps I got to do to cause it to damage. But like I said, eventually it will adapt. Like, you won't get any more out of it. Because those eccentrics are too light now at some point. They're too light, man. And so you move to overload, and that's where you break through the plateaus and overload. So now what you do is there is an initial stage of lifting with the concentric, but it's mostly eccentric and partially concentric because it's so heavy, it's overloaded. Then there are also other ways to bust through plateaus where they are simply just eccentric exercises, just like guys do in weightlifting, Olympic lifting, whatever, in the gyms or whatever they're doing. They do solely concentric lifts. They put it on the sponge, the bar, and they just push against gravity. They push against gravity, or they hold the weight like these power lifters. They do bench presses. They lift it off, they hold it against gravity or whatever. Try pushing weights against gravity without any eccentric. And so in this case, we're doing eccentric without any concentric for other plateaux, to push through other plateaus, whatever. I gotta move on here. Yeah, so promotes adaptation. So it says here to progressively overload the muscle by increasing the weight, sets, and reps. So listen to what they say here. To continue stimulating muscle growth with eccentric training, it is crucial to progressively overload the muscle by increasing the weight, yes, the weight, the sets, the reps, or training frequency to maintain. Well, you're kind of like figuring it out as you're lifting. Sometimes you may need a little bit more reps in that one set, or you might need more sets in that, session. It's like you go on a feeling, really, is what it is, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Training frequency to maintain the level of stress that promotes further adaptations. Yes, you want to keep getting more adaptations. If you're adapted, there's zero adaptations. Now let's move on to NCBI. So NCBI. So this is from AI again, and this one is from NCBI. So they put this part at the top. I've done this like years ago when I first started my channel. I talked about this, okay? And I've already posted this community section even on this channel. A second period of exercise a week after the first produces much less damage. This is a result of an adaptation process. So what is that adaptation process? That it produces much less damage. Well, let's find out. One proposed mechanism for the adaptation is a what? An increase in sarcomere number in muscle fibers. So you got bigger, you got stronger. See that? You understand me? So you've got an adaptation in muscle. So when you move these weights around, this muscle now requires, it's protecting the weaker, deeper muscle fibers. So it requires a lot more load. This leads to a secondary shift in the muscle's optimum length for active tension. Yeah. All right. Let's go to AI, what it says here. It's pretty much, it takes it from NCBI PubMed, like it says here down at the bottom, bro. Get it? According to research NCBI PubMed, the reason for significantly less damage observed in the second week of the study involving muscle stress is often attributed to adaptation, meaning the muscle tissue has undergone structural changes. It has gone through structural changes. If your tissue has not gone through structural changes, it has not gained an adaptation. In response to the initial damage, yes, changes in response to the initial damage. The damage is what causes the structural changes in the body, making it more resistant to further injury during subsequent bouts of exercise. Get it, dude? So key points about adaptation in the context of repeated bout effect. This phenomenon describes how a second exposure to a damaging stimulus like eccentric exercise results in less muscle damage compared to the first exposure due to the body's adaptive mechanisms. That would be cellular and physical, muscular. Cellular changes. Muscle fibers can adapt by increasing the number of sarcomeres. Yeah. Improving connective tissue structure and enhancing the ability to repair damaged tissue, leading to greater resilience against future stress. Neural adaptations. The nervous system can also adapt by optimizing motor unit recruitment patterns. That is another adaptation. So we have muscular adaptations and we have neurological adaptations. Get it? Get it? So yeah, optimizing motor unit recruitment patterns, contributing to reduced muscle damage during repeated bouts of exercise. Yeah, these are hurdles you have to overcome. You have to overcome these hurdles. How do you overcome them? I told you, intensity and duration. You have to overwork that muscle. I didn't say overtrain. I said you have to overwork that muscle if you're doing eccentric and concentric work. If you're doing a full range of motion, then you definitely need intensity and duration. So that means you need to overwork that muscle because the eccentric is too light. And if it's too light going down, you're going to have to do a lot of sets. Get it? A lot of sets. Yeah, and repetitions, a lot of sets, and I mean a lot. So you figure it out. Anyways, but in an overload, eccentric overload, where the concentric is only partially going up and the load is heavier going up and going down extremely heavy, you don't need that many. Sets or you don't need that many sets. You know what I mean? To get this damage to come back. You know what I mean? But again, as you get bigger and stronger, then you add more weight, right? You add more weight. So you start adding more weight. Okay, at some point it may still get difficult. You're going to have to add more sets then to it. You have to learn. You have to go on a feeling. You have to figure it out on your own. Nobody's going to teach you this. You understand me? No fitness people understand this concept of how muscles really build. They just go to the gym and lift these weights and drink this powder and that's it. They may have a certificate for fitness, but they don't know the fundamentals of this, and they're not going to promote this damage, you getting damaged and building muscles. They don't promote that. They just think you got to go to the gym, lift a weight, but you've adapted, and it adapts quickly. Because why? Because a second period of exercise a week after the first produces much less damage. And if it produces much less damage, this is a result of an adaptation. Therefore, there's no more adaptations. See what I mean? And you call it newbie gains. You understand me? You all call that newbie gains, but that doesn't exist. Newbie gains doesn't exist, bro. Get it? And so after this initiating damage, they call that in nuclei overload precedes hypertrophy not lost on detraining in that map. First training, satellite cell fusion, hypertrophy. It reaches a ceiling limit there because it can't keep producing more nuclei to support further muscle growth. That's why you need this damage. See what I mean? You need this damage to support further muscle growth, to grow these muscles and to hypertrophy and yada, yada, yada. And so it reaches a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process beyond where the satellite cell can donate any more extra nuclei to that domain to support further muscle growth. Okay, what do you need to support further muscle growth? Well, you need this damage to come back, so then it can activate the satellite cell so it can donate its nuclei to support what? To support further muscle growth. Bingo. See what I mean? No, I can show it to you if you don't believe me, man. It's in here in my community section. I know I posted it here somewhere. Hold on a second. No, not that one. Damage stimulus. Oh wait, here, is it? Yeah, you need damage the primary stimulus to activate satellite cells, causing them to proliferate, donate their nuclei to existing muscle fibers, thereby supporting what? Further muscle growth and repair. That's why you need it. That's why you need it. Without that stimulus, you cannot support further muscle growth. So it doesn't matter about concentric exercises, whether they grow in parallel. They'll never grow in parallel if this thing is not activated. They'll never grow. They themselves do not grow because you are pushing against gravity and they magically create these parallel in series. They don't. They will align in parallel, but they will not grow in parallel without eccentric exercise. Eccentric is everything. It's everything. It's the driver of your strength in your body. It's a driver of everything. People are wrong when they misunderstand. They think concentric is the basis of everything. It's not the basis of anything. If anything, you're just getting pumps in your muscle. You're pumping your muscle. Because I think I posted that here too somewhere. Pumping is not really building muscles. Yeah, according to research, muscles stop growing significantly without the addition of new nuclei, as the nuclei act as factories. Yeah, there's no more growth without these nuclei, without anything. I don't know where I put it here. It's somewhere down here. Pump training or whatever. Undernourished, overfed. I don't know where it is. Here's another thing. According to scientific understanding, consuming excessive sugar can accelerate the aging process, meaning it can deteriorate your body faster than natural aging. Remember, I used to say in my videos, you're deteriorating faster than you're aging. That's what you're doing. Glycation. Sugar. Rapid movements, jumping. This is pretty good too. I don't know. Undergo repair, remodeling, overload. I don't really know where it is. I posted it here. It was funny. Pump training. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I can't find it. Who the hell knows? I don't know where it is right now. Anyways, pump training. I put it here somewhere. You could probably look for it. You get pumped. Training is just it's sarcoplasmic training. Fuck, I don't know where I put it, man. It's around here somewhere. I would like to show it to you because it was fun. It was funny because a guy wrote me in the comment section. It's kind of funny. Um, Christ, where the fuck? See, I keep posting stuff so quickly that I forget where it all is. Bulking is obviously fake. You don't want to bulk because then you just create more fat cells. That's just ridiculous to bulk. I don't know why people do that. It's crazy. If you double them, oh no, that's not the one. I don't know where it is right now. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, sometimes called artificial muscle growth because it primarily involves fluid. Yes, sarcoplasm. It's based on pump training. I don't know where it is now. It's somewhere here. I'm not going to look for it now. Anyways, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Yeah, pump training, broski. Pump training. Let's see. Concentric exercises. I can't get it to come up. In the context of muscle contraction, the pump refers to sarcoplasmic reticulum. The pump and protein embedded in sarcoplasmic reticulum. Well, this is another one. This isn't the original one that I posted in my section, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, cytoplasm, essentially mechanism for pumping, pump training. It's fake. It's fake. I don't know. Whatever. It's fake muscles, bro. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. I gotta go.